The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
YouTube, what's good? It's the boy, the chosen one. Yo, big cousin D Spade. Hey, we bring you some fresh content as only I can bring you. Reacting to Eagle Eye Theory. Go subscribe to his channel where he breaks down his theory on if and how Ghost will return if he does in Power Book Season 4. Season 2. Yeah.
What?
In Power Book Season 4. Season 4. Season 2. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Let's take it for the top.
Shut the fuck up!
You gonna see, he gonna break down. And we gonna keep this in. Hey, editor, keep this in, bro. Keep this in. That's funny as fuck. But yeah, where he break down how he thinks Ghost will return in Season 2 of 4's Tommy Show. We already reacted to I forgot, I think it was Movie Bot's predictions and season clues or some shit like that. Whoop-de-whoop. But let's go ahead and get into the video, man. Like, share, subscribe, follow the channel. Let's get it.
The enigma of Ghost's fate has left many craving for answers, especially after Omari Hardwick's latest interview, where he revealed he was offered the opportunity to return. As we delve deep into the shadows and dissect the clues scattered throughout the series, along with cryptic Instagram posts by Joseph Sikora, all eyes are firmly on Power 4 Force, as he tantalizingly teases, is Ghost alive or dead? A cryptic message leaves us hanging on the edge, waiting for Ghost either in a hallucination or as an alive character. So could Ghost rise from the ashes and resurface in Chicago in Force? As we dissect the cast and crew's teasing, we can't help but wonder if they're gearing up for a jaw-dropping reveal. So in this video, we're going to break down the theory of Ghost potentially returning in Power Force, or maybe even in Ghost to haunt Tariq St. Patrick, either in a hallucination scene or as an alive character. But of course, if you're new to the channel, then go ahead and hit the subscribe button, because there will be more Ghost and Force theories and breakdowns across the next few months. After the devastating losses of his brother Ghost, as well as Lakeisha and Holly, Tommy found himself in uncharted territory as he began to navigate the street game in Chicago. The weight of absence of key figures in his life seems to have left a massive void that seems impossible to fill. He was full of emotion and pain as he left New York to embark on his new journey after he was forced to fake his death. We saw him head to Chicago, which initially was supposed to be a pit stop, but he found a reason to stay. Tommy Egan was determined to break free from Ghost's shadow and carve his own legacy in the criminal world. Tommy was out to prove he was more than just a right-hand man. Setting enemies ablaze, he made his mark instantly in Chicago. With grit, cunning, and his no-mercy attitude, Tommy sets forth on a journey to show Chicago he's a force to be reckoned with, standing his ground against the CBI, the Flynns, and the Serbian network. He also discovered JP as his brother and building a bond with Diamond, which does go some way in filling the void left by James St. Patrick, but nobody will ever replace Ghost. So, could we see Ghost returning in Force? And if we do, why now? Why in Chicago? And why is Joseph Sikora teasing Ghost's return? Throughout the original series of Power, we saw a series of hallucinations for Ghost. These visions acted as manifestations of his conscience, representing the internal conflicts he faced. Angela, the love of his life, represented his desire for a legitimate and happy life outside the criminal world. Her presence haunted him and reminded him the choices he made and the potential for a different path with Ramona Garrity. On the other hand, Kanan Stark embodied his dark past and the ruthless nature he had to embrace to survive the drug game. Hallucinations serve as constant reminders of consequences of one's actions and the impact they have on one's life. They push you to reflect on motivations and your actions going forward. So one can only ponder, with the latest loss of Liliana, how much of an impact will this have on Tommy Egan and him remembering his brother? The loss of Liliana will leave a huge void in Tommy's life, as she wasn't just someone who was a business partner, she was a voice of reason, a figure Tommy turned to in a time of need in Chicago. But with all the loss he's suffered and continues to suffer, he's a character who hasn't had a hallucination seen as such yet in the Power universe. So one can only ponder, could Tommy be teasing Ghost's return in Season 2 of Force? Perhaps a long-awaited hallucination scene of Ghost? Ghost had a profound impact on Tommy's life. Their bond ran deep, stemming from their childhood days when they formed a brotherly bond. It would be the perfect time to bring Ghost back as a hallucination to guide Tommy on his journey and maybe even offer a different perspective on life now that Tommy has blood family of his own with JP, D-Mac, and Kate Egan. Now, we've also seen Ghost making subtle maneuvers in Ghost Season 2, where he had a letter ready for his son Tariq if he ever was arrested, but also have Yasmin adopted. So could Ghost actually be alive, working his magic in the background? After all, who really believes that Ghost's trust, which he left his son, is really lost? Ghost was a character who was always 3 moves ahead of his son Tariq, and I wouldn't be surprised if he had a contingency plan in place. Now, only recently did we see Omari Hardwick release an interview where he mentioned he was offered the chance to return, but where it seems like the conditions weren't right. But this does confirm that stars are thinking about the return of Ghost. So if he does return, could we see him spring a surprise for Tommy in Force Season 2? Perhaps in a hallucination sequence? Or could we see him return in Ghost to surprise his son, Tariq St. Patrick? As we get ready to dive back into the electrifying world of Power Force, we can't help but wonder, will Tommy have it all his way in Season 2? The trailer shows Tommy being true to his nature and why he still remains a Power fan favorite. Season 2 seems like a bit of a reset to the show with no mention of the designer drug Dahlia. This new season seems to capture the very essence of what made the original series an unforgettable roller coaster of emotions. A new task force, ruthless drug lords and the criminal underworld will challenge Tommy in ways he's never been challenged before. With all his experience, can he make it to the top of the criminal world in Chicago? In this video, we're going to break down 5 clues you may have missed from the official trailer for Force Season 2. But if you're new to the channel, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button because there will be more Force theories and breakdowns over the next few months. Number 1. Maria and Miguel Garcia. Tommy Egan's no doubt a complex character, which we know from the Power universe, and he seems like he's gonna take it one step further. He'll find himself in a relationship with the sister of a dangerous Mexican drug lord. At first glance, it might seem like a passionate whirlwind, but beneath the surface lies a web of complications and dangers that Tommy won't be able to escape. This relationship sets off alarm bells. Tommy will have to navigate the treacherous waters of both love and loyalty. He'll be drawn to Maria while walking a tightrope because of the repercussions it might have on his business. The most glaring issue is the danger that lurks within the shadows, Miguel Garcia. Tommy's actions can easily place his drug operation and his life in jeopardy. Maria's brother holds power in the criminal world, and any misstep could lead to disastrous consequences. This is a relationship which is a double-edged sword, offering both passion and peril in equal measure. Number 2. Law enforcement seems like they're hot on Tommy's heels. Now operating within the firm gaze of law enforcement in Chicago, Season 2 promises to throw Tommy into a high-stakes game of cat and mouse, with the complications of his past and present actions converging to create a pretty hefty storm. In Season 2, he'll have to operate under the watchful eyes of law enforcement, which will drastically alter the way he operates. Every move, every transaction, and every conversation has become a calculated risk as he navigates a landscape where the line between success and incarceration is razor thin. Now, the complexities don't stop there. Tommy's past decision to fake his own death in New York adds another layer of intrigue to Season 2. While he may have successfully disappeared from New York with the help of Tariq St. Patrick, his disappearance can't be ignored. The sudden rise of a high-profile criminal like Tommy Egan wouldn't go unnoticed by law enforcement in New York. This could eventually lead them back in, and could be one way they intend to cross over between Ghost and Force. Number 3. Miguel Garcia. A name that should send shivers down your spine. Miguel is the new dangerous Mexican drug connect. Introduced in blood, he makes it known crossing him or betraying him could land you a one-way ticket to the graveyard. As his acting distro, the stakes will be even higher when dealing with Miguel Garcia, as he seems to find himself in a romantic relationship with his sister. However, in regards to business, Tommy's every move will be scrutinized. Any hint of disloyalty or betrayal could be met with swift violence. Although it's not just enemies or outsiders who should fear Miguel Garcia, those from within his own organization should also fear him, with betrayals met with ruthless consequences. As with all Mexican drug lords, they had a code that they abide to, and any hint of disloyalty, lies, or betrayal will be met with brute force. As with every leader in the criminal underworld, money's the driving force of their empire. As they say in the Power universe, more money equals more power, which also rings true in reality. Miguel Garcia seems like a strong figure of fear and power. However, we do also have to bear in mind, he also answers to the cartel. So what we see with Miguel Garcia may only be scratching the surface with what we could see later in the series. Number 4. Could Walter Flynn meet his demise in a blaze of glory? For years, Walter Flynn's been the leader of the Flynn organization. He's a man set in his traditional ways of conducting business, evident in him only focusing on moving pills, even though Tommy presented him with a better business opportunity. The way in which Walter Flynn runs his organization is defined by his stubbornness. He's clung on to the old-school methods that once helped him build his empire under the watchful eyes of the bosses in Dublin. Although his stubbornness proved to be a strength in the past, it can also be his downfall, blinding him to new opportunities and alliances that could have ensured the organization's survival and future. At the heart of Flynn's relationships are Claudia and Vic Flynn, siblings who had deep involvement in the Flynn organization on two different ends of the spectrum. Walter's lies and manipulation drove a wedge between the relationships. His attempts to control Vic and Claudia will no doubt lead to more resentment, and eventually a storm will come his way. Vic Flynn once mentioned Walter would love to go out in a blaze of glory, and that moment could very well have arrived. A battle that could be Walter's very last. Number 5. Vic Flynn turns to alcohol. Walter Flynn set off a chain reaction in Season 1 by killing 3 Serbs in cold blood, which created chaos in the streets, leading to the unfortunate death of Gloria, Vic Flynn's girlfriend. The tragic death will unearth a vast amount of emotions, which seem to have spiraled into a world of pain and addiction, as well as exposing the dynamics of his complex relationship with his father. Foreshadows and clues were there for us all to see during the latter stages of the first season that Vic's alcohol consumption had the potential to spiral out of control, and based on the trailer for Season 2, it seems like the weight of Gloria's death will push Vic to drown his sorrows in alcohol. The complexities of Vic's relationship with his father adds a different layer to Vic's character, as Walter's manipulation and control over Vic always seemed to cast a shadow of their relationship. Walter never approved of Gloria, viewing her as the wrong woman and a distraction for Vic. As mentioned before, he's a man who has set tradition, but as Vic seems to have found himself at a crossroads, can he recover? Can Vic or even Claudia Flynn bring themselves to take over the throne of the Flynn organization?
If you haven't already, man. And as always, stay dangerous.